We're talking today with Bruce Plante, editorial cartoonist for the Tulsa World. Bruce, you just said something during the break about your dad was in the submarine service?
Yes, in World War II. He was
Share
aboard
that story.
He was aboard the Catfish, and after all the training they had to go through in World War II, they finally, after a long trip through the South Pacific and around the South America, by the time they got in theater, they were 90 miles off of Nagasaki when they dropped the second bomb. And so pretty much it was ended after that. Mm-hmm. And so he was aboard one of the old diesels. As a matter of fact, the Catfish was sold to the Argentine Navy and was sunk in the Falklands War. So,
no kidding.
Yeah, so it was, him being a submariner was always a big thing in my life. So,
wow. Let's take a look at some more of your work, Bruce.
Yeah, sort of a sad cartoon because a lot of the dreamers are sitting awake at night because their dreams seem to be slipping away. Every
time I see you do something like this, without fail, I go, "Attaboy, Bruce, go get them." I mean, I'm out over there cheering you on. Now, the next one.
Yeah, this is Governor Stitt. Eventually, this was before he became governor. He said, "Sorry, Mr. Stitt, we're polling only likely voters," because he failed to vote in any other gubernatorial races.
You know, he told me something that really amazed me. I think he said, if I recall, he had 6 children. Only half of them had been vaccinated.
Right.
And I thought, really? I want to hear that conversation at the dinner table in about 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, what else we got here?
I thought this would be a sign that the Republicans would put up. Sometimes I try to slam both sides of the political theater. And Hillary 2020, and he's laughing at the Democrats who crashed into the tree after they see that, because I think they wouldn't want to have another go around with Hillary. So, yeah, that's another one of my favorites. Trump said that you had to have a license, driver's license to buy groceries. So I thought, well, oh, how cute. He's first time buying groceries. I'm sure he doesn't really buy many groceries himself, but Trump is God's gift to cartoonists. So, you know, just by sheer him tweeting all the time and everything, he always throws out some good fodder for us cartoonists.
Bet you had fun during the Nixon years.
Well, actually, that was just a little bit before I got started.
But you still did it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see that collection.
Yeah.
What else have we got here?
Well, this is Trump at one of his rallies saying, "Fake news, whatever happened to the honest reporting? They don't report it, they only make up stories." And then in the press room in the back is saying, "Fake news, whatever happened to the honest reporting? They don't report it, they only make up stories." I disagree with Trump on this one because it's easy to say that it's fake news when it's not really. So a lot of people would disagree with that, but that's okay. And this is when Trump was talking about actually hosting the G7 meeting. Trump wants the next G7 meeting at his property for his own self-interest. This is Captain Obvious saying that. So I bet Trump backed out of that after a while, after getting a lot of criticism.
All right. I catch myself scanning quickly looking for Nina.
And this is more recent cartoon where all the Republicans were saying, "Open the door, open the door, open the door," which meant there wasn't a whole lot of cameras in there, and no cameras. And then they opened the door, and now they're saying, "Close the door, close the door, close the door," because the hearings have been telecast now. And you know, they started a massive prison release where Acme Medical Dispensary is the next left. And so how does it feel to finally be released from prison? I'm overwhelmed with irony because all the medical marijuana dispensaries are there. So,
do you ever sell copies of your cartoons?
Oh yes, sell originals and copies.
Because I've seen a couple I want to get my hands on.
Oh yeah?
I'll get with you.
Sure.
Let's take a look here.
And this was after the big vote for Improve Our Tulsa, and really impressed with citizens in Oklahoma and mainly in Tulsa in this particular instance was they voted for this because I think everybody's tired of repairing all of our roads. Something tells me Tulsa voted to improve their city. So sometimes cartoons are a positive look at the news. And so.
How far back do they go? How far back can we trace political cartoons?
Well, Ben Franklin was one of the first. He did the join us or join or die when he had the chopped up snake. Mm-hmm. And then Thomas Nast was probably one of the most renowned cartoonists in the 1800s, and he was an immigrant and was actually, it turns out he was kind of a racist, and that has changed hopefully from our industry. So being a cartoonist has got a long history, and as a matter of fact, editorial cartoons were actually prevalent before editorial writers. Guess who became my boss?
Who?
Editorial writers, editorial page editors and stuff. So I don't know how that happens. I guess the text people get the break.
Let's take a look here. What else you got? Well, I know there's one there.
That might be it.
Might be the run.
That was it.
That was it?
That was it.
Good. Gives us a chance to talk a little bit. How much time we got? Oh, we're in good shape. We're about to run it down. You have family, Bruce?
Yes. 2 sons. One is in Chattanooga at the moment, and the other one's going to school at OSU for vet school. Ben is at vet school, and Jonathan is in Chattanooga at the moment.
Either one of them following in Dad's footsteps?
They've dallied and kind of got into drawing a little bit, and but they all went a different direction because it's not exactly a profession that's offers jobs very often. But hopefully that'll change because I think the internet has been something that hurt us in competition with other media. But we are now on the internet and hopefully very popular out there because more people see us now than ever before.
Gay and Wilson did a cartoon once, popular cartoonist with Playboy magazine, or that's where you saw a lot of his work. He showed an older gentleman by the fire, and he's reading. And there's a young guy here, and he's got 3 or 4 electronic gadgets he's toying around with, and he's looking at the older gentleman who's saying, "It's called a book." I never forgot that cartoon. It would seem to me that there might be a book here for you.
Well, I've done one book when I was in Chattanooga, and hopefully we'll be able to do another one here in Tulsa because, I've done probably 7,500 cartoons in my career, so be a big book.
Doesn't show the scar tissue where you open the veins.
I try not to open veins, but I did get spanked, and
It's not the kind of profession one can walk away from. What are you going to do when the day finally comes and you say it's time to hang up my sketch pad?
Well, hopefully I can continue to do it because I intend to probably die on my drawing table, and so it's something that I hope I don't ever have to give it up. But like I say, working for the Tulsa World is a real honor, and hope to stay there as long as I can.
Well, I want to tell you, Bruce, a lot of folks, myself included, are very grateful for your talents and the way you've used them over the years. I want to thank you on behalf of myself and the folks who look for that cartoon right off the top.
Sam, it's a real pleasure. I really appreciate being here, and good to see you again.
Good to see you, old buddy.
Yeah.
We'll start looking for Nina now on a regular basis.
Yeah, cool.
Get the folks out there who
Appreciate
might have
it,
missed it. You take care.
You too.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Perspective. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy your Christmas.